How are you? Hope you all will be fine at home. Good. Okay. But today I will discuss exercise number 4.2. So before discussing that exercise, I want to explain you some properties of determinants. What I am going to explain? Properties of determinants. And you have to keep all the properties in your mind. Okay? So let's discuss the properties of determinant. The very first property of the determinant is the value of determinant remains unchanged if its rows and columns are interchanged. Hope it is clear. What is the meaning of this? The value of determinants remains unchanged if its rows and columns are interchanged. Means if any determinant is given, then we can interchange its rows and columns. So there will not be any effect. Got it? Means the value of determinants will remain same if we change its rows and columns. So this is the very first property of determinant. The second property is if any two rows or columns of a determinant are interchanged, then the sign of determinant changes. Means if we interchange any two rows or any two columns. For example, if I want to interchange R1 and R2 or R2 and R3 or R1 and R3. Similarly, if we want to interchange two columns of a determinant, for example C1 and C2, C2 and C3 or C1 and C3, then the sign of determinant will be changed. Understood? Means whenever we will interchange the two rows or two columns, then the sign of determinant will be changed. Hope it is clear. Now the third property is if any two rows or columns of a determinant are identical, then the value of determinant is 0. This is very important property. If two rows or two columns of a determinant are identical, then the value of determinant is 0. So what is the meaning of identical? Identical means if the corresponding elements of two rows or two columns are same. If all the elements of any two rows or two columns are same, then these rows or columns are known as identical. Got it? So whenever in a determinant, if two rows or two columns are same, then the value of determinant will be 0. Hope it is clear. So this is very important property. Now the next fourth property is if each element of a row or a column of a determinant is multiplied by a constant k, then its value gets multiplied by k. Means if we multiply each element of a row or a column, if we want to multiply all the elements of any row or any column of a determinant, then the value of the whole determinant is also multiplied by that constant. Understood? Again I am explaining. If we want to multiply all the elements of any row or any column by a constant, then the whole value of the determinant will also be multiplied by that constant. Got it? Okay. Now fifth property. If some or all the elements of a row or column of a determinant are expressed as sum of two or more terms, then the determinant can be expressed as sum of two or more determinants. What is the meaning of this? If sum of all elements of a row, if sum of all elements of a row or column of a determinant are expressed as sum of two or more terms, then the determinant can be expressed as sum of two or more determinants. I am taking the example for explaining this. See, what is the meaning of this property? So property number 5, I am explaining you by taking an example. For example, there is a determinant A is like this: A plus lambda, B plus lambda, C plus lambda, E, F, G, H, I and J. Clear? This is a determinant. So here this property states that if sum of all elements of a row or column of a determinant are expressed as sum of two or more terms. So see here all the elements of first row is expressed as a sum of two terms: A plus lambda, B plus lambda or C plus lambda. Clear? So if all the elements of any row or any column is expressed as a sum of two or more terms, then the determinant can be expressed as a sum of two or more determinants. Means this determinant can be represented as first term of this A, first term of this B, first term of this element C, and E, F, G, H, I, J, plus now we will have to write the last element, means lambda, lambda and lambda, E, F, G, H, I and J. Means this determinant can be expressed as the sum of these two determinants. Understood? Again I am explaining, if all the elements of any row or any column is expressed as a sum of two or more terms, then the value of the determinant can be expressed as the sum of two or more determinants. Hope it is clear? Yes. Now the sixth and determinant is, if to each element of any row or column of a determinant the equimultiples of corresponding elements of other row or column are added, then the value of determinant remains same. That is, the value of determinant remains same if we are apply the operation Ri tends to Ri plus Krj or Ci tends to Ci plus Kcj. This property again I am explaining by taking an example. So just wait. I am taking an example here for explaining this property. See, according to this property, I consider here there is a determinant A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Suppose that this is a determinant. Understood? So see, if to each element of any row or column of a determinant the equimultiples of corresponding elements of other row or column are added, means in general we can say that if we want to put the operation here, for example, R1 tends to R1 plus KR2. Clear? Or this operation can be R2 tends to R2 plus KR3. Clear? This operation we can implement in columns also. For example, C1 tends to C1 plus K C2, or C3 tends to C3 plus K C1. Means if we want to add first row to the second row after multiply by K in the second row, then the value of determinant will remain same. Understood? How? A equal to, if we implement this operation, which operation? R1 tends to R1 plus KR2. So it will be R1 plus KR2. R1 is A plus KR2. R2 is this row. So K into D and KD. Same B plus K E. plus same C plus K into F, and R2 will remain same D, E, F and G, H, I. So here the value of this determinant and the value of this determinant will remain same. Understood? So here I implement this operation. If we want to implement this operation and this operation, then the value of determinant will also be same. For example, if now I am implementing the last operation here. Which operation? This one. C3 tends to C3 plus KC1. Applying. A equal to C3 is this. So C1 and C2 will remain same. A, D, G, B, E, H. C3 tends to C3 plus KC1. So C3 is C plus KC1. C1 is A. So K into A. Now F plus K into D. Now I plus K into G. Now the value of this determinant and this determinant will remain same. Understood? So whenever we want to add any row or any column to another row or column after multiplying by a constant, then the value of both the determinants will also will remain same. Understood? So there are total 6 properties of determinant. So these properties you have to keep in your mind. These all properties are very important, which we will use in our next exercise 4.2. Hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, good. Now students, I am going to explain exercise 4.2. So the very first question of exercise 4.2 is this. Using the properties of determinants and without expanding, prove that the value of this determinant equals to 0. Clear? So here it is very clear that we will have to use the properties of determinants. Properties of determinants. What are the properties of determinants? These properties we have already discussed. Understood? So by using the properties of determinant and without expanding, now we will not expand this determinant. Expanding, you know, the method by which we solve exercise 4.1. So we will not expanding the determinant. We will use the properties of determinant. After using the properties of determinant, we will have to prove the value of this determinant is equal to 0. So what we will do? We have to take left hand side. Taking LHS. What is LHS? X, Y, Z, A, B, C, or X plus A, Y plus B and Z plus C. Now see, we have to prove the value of this determinant equals to 0. And according to the properties of determinant, I told you that if in a determinant 2 rows or 2 columns are identical, if there are 2 rows or 2 columns are identical, then the value of the whole determinant will be 0. So what we can do here? We will try to make 2 rows or 2 columns identical. Clear? So see, this is X, this is A, this is Y, this is B, this is Z and this is C. If we will add C1 plus C2, so we will get X plus A, Y plus B, Z plus C. X plus A, Y plus B, Z plus C. X plus A, Y plus B, Z plus C. That means C1 and C3 will be common, will be identical. Or if 2 rows or 2 columns are identical, then the value of the determinant will be 0. Understood? So we will implement the operation here. C1 tends to C1 plus C2. We will add C1 plus C2. So what we will get? X plus A, Y plus B and Z plus C. C1 plus C2. Now C2 will remain same. A, B, C and C3 will also remain same. X plus A, Y plus B, Z plus C. Clear? After implement this operation, we will get this determinant. Now see, here C1 and C3 are identical. See, x plus a, y plus b, z plus c, z plus c. So here these two columns are same. That means the value of this determinant will be 0. So you have to write since C1 equals to C3. Hence implies that x plus a, y plus b or z plus c, a, b, c or x plus a, y plus b and z plus c equal to 0. If it is equals to 0, so hence we can say that LHS is equal to RHS. Hence it is proved. Clear? Hope it is clear to everyone. Good. I am explaining the next question. Second question is, we have to prove that the value of this determinant equal to 0. Again, we will have to use the properties of determinant. We will not expand this determinant. Clear? So, taking LHS. Taking LHS, left hand side. Left hand side means this determinant. This determinant is a minus b, b minus c, c minus a, b minus c, c minus a minus b, c minus a minus b or b minus c. We have to prove the value of this determinant is 0. So what we can do here? So see, if we will add C1, C2 and C3, what we will get? See, a minus b plus b minus c plus c minus a. So b positive negative will be cancelled, c positive negative will be cancelled, a positive negative will be cancelled. Means 0. This element will be 0. Similarly, b minus c plus c minus a plus a minus b. So all the values will be cancelled. Result will be 0. Same, if we add all these elements, again we will get 0 here. So here, all the elements of first column will be 0. So if all the elements of any row or any column are 0, that means the value of the whole determinant will be 0. So what we will do? We will implement the operation C1 tends to C1 plus C2 plus C3. We will apply the operation in C1, that is C1 plus C2 plus C3. See, C1 plus C2 plus C3. A minus B plus B minus C plus C minus A. Next element B minus C plus C minus A plus A minus B. Third element C minus A plus A minus B plus B minus C. These will be the elements of C1. C2 and C3 will remain same. B minus C minus A minus B. And C3 is C minus A minus B and B minus C. Now see, B positive negative, C positive negative, A positive negative cancel. B positive negative, A positive negative, C positive negative cancel. C positive negative, B positive negative, A positive negative cancel. So what is left here? 0, 0, 0. B minus C minus A minus B. And C minus A minus B and B minus C. Here, see, all the elements of first column are 0. If all the elements of any row or column are 0, then the value of whole determinant will be 0. So this is equal to 0. Reason, since all elements of C1 are 0. Hence this is your RHS. Hence it is proved. Clear? Hope it is clear to everyone. Good. Student, our next question is, we have to prove the value of this determinant is equal to 0. Again, by using the properties of determinants, we will not expand this determinant. Is it clear? Okay. So we are taking LHS. Process will remain same. Taking LHS. Our LHS is 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 65, 75 and 86. What we will do to prove this? So see, 65, 75 and 86. If we subtract C3, if we subtract C1 from C3, so what we will get? 65 minus 2, we will get 63. 75 minus 3, we will get 72. 86 minus 5, we will get 81. So beta 63, 72 and 81 all are the multiples of 9. Is it clear? Okay. So I am applying here the, see here, I am applying the operation here. C3 tends to C3 minus C1. What I am doing? I will subtract C1 from C3 here. So see, 2, 3, 5. C1 will remain same. C2 will also remain same. 7, 8, 9. Operation we will apply in C3. That is C3 minus C1. 65 minus 2. That is 63. 75 minus 3. That is 72. 86 minus 5. That is 81. Clear? Now see. 63, 72, 81. All are the multiples of 9. So we can take 9 common from this column. We can take 9 common from this column. So if 9 is common, so it will be out of the determinant. First column will remain same. 2, 3, 5. Second column will also remain same. 7, 8, 9. 9 is common from C3. So 9 is here, 63 here. So what is left? 7, because 9 7s are 63. Similarly 72. 9 8s are 72. So 8 will be here. 9 is common, 81 is here. So 9 9s are 81. Hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. Now C2 and C3 both are same. Second column and third column both are same. See, 7 8 9, 7 8 9. So here all the elements of second column and the third column are same. That means we can say that C2 and C3 are identical. Or you know that if two rows or two columns are identical, then the value of the whole determinant will be 0. So you have to write here 9 into the value of this determinant will be 0. Reason, since C2 equal to C3. So hope it is clear to everyone. Here C2 and C3, all the elements of C2 and C3 are same. So we can say that C2 and C3 both are identical. Or we know that if two rows or two columns of a determinant are identical, then the value of the whole determinant will be 0. So 9 into 0 or 9 into 0 gives you 0. And 0 is our right hand side. So hence it is proved. Is it clear to everyone? Okay students, now I am going to wind up this video and the remaining question you will have to solve at home. Clear? We will meet in the very next video with new topics. Till that time, stay at home and be safe. Thank you.